a list of stars that never ends. You're our guest in the front row. Now it's time to start the show. Branson Webcast Show, interviews with folks you know. Come along and join the fun. In our books, you're number one.
From the live entertainment capital of the world, you're listening to BransonWebcast.com with your hosts, Hamner and Barber.
It's not TV or radio, just one click, download the show. Grab some coffee, take your seat. We've got friends you'd like to meet. Branson Webcast Show, Hamner, Barber, here we go. Laugh along and have some fun. It's a show for everyone.
One of them plays with birds, and the other makes a sassy Chihuahua talk. Here's Dave Hamner and Jim Barber.
Well, thank you, Craig Burnett, and welcome back to the webcast, everybody, with our good friend Don Paul, radio personality to the stars.
Personality to the stars. I'm trying to figure
Is
what
that the
means.
proper term? That's
I have
probably
no
not what
idea.
I bet you've
No.
never called yourself that, have you?
No, I haven't. And I've never been called that before.
But you do have a personality, don't you?
I like to think so.
Yes,
I do want your viewers to know that I am taller on the radio.
That's
You
right.
are taller on the radio.
Much taller.
And much better looking.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Don Paul has one of the greatest over-the-air voices that you'll ever hear.
Wow.
Very soothing, and there's a real charisma to your voice.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you do a little announcement for all of our folks?
What do you want me to say? I've got to have copy. I've got to have a script to do it. I can't just,
Say welcome to the Branson Webcast.
Welcome to the Branson Webcast. We're glad you're here with Jim Barber
What's
and
his
Dave
face?
Hamner and what's his face and Barber in Seville.
Well, you know, Don was on the radio when I first came to Branson, and so I kind of felt like I knew you even before I met you, And then Dave and I did a show with Jimmy Osmond called the American Jukebox Show, and you were our official theater announcer for that show.
I saw the Osmonds TV special the other night on PBS.
Yes?
And I was a little disappointed that they did not use me to open their show like they used to here.
That would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Jimmy Osmond and I at one time did a nationally syndicated radio show from that theater.
That's right.
That ran on one station for about 6 weeks, so it was not one of the Osmonds' biggest successes.
Well, it was a small nation. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's great. Well, I'm so thrilled that you could come and take some time to be with us today. And let's just tell people a little bit about what you do. First of all, your work here. Tell us the station you're on the air.
Well, I'm doing special projects for KRZK in Branson at 106.3. And also do some work for Fantastic Caverns up in Springfield, the North America's only drive-through cave, by the way.
And we did see you there last summer, didn't
Yes,
we?
you did. Yes, you did. And also been doing some writing and a few other things. And basically, officially, I'm retired.
Yes.
But I escape every chance I get.
Yeah.
That's good. You like to keep busy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just take a quick trip into the caverns, because Fantastic Caverns really has a history related to this whole Branson showbiz phenomenon.
Yeah, Presley's, who built the first theater in Branson back 41 years ago, before that would do a radio show from inside Fantastic Caverns. If you've been there, there's a big room with a stage on it, and they would perform on that stage. And Herkimer, who's the comedy, his son is kind of taking over for him, I think, and kind of upstaging him a lot.
Cecil, yeah.
Yeah, Cecil, but Herkimer was actually born on that stage. And well, I don't mean he was literally born there, but he first performed on that stage in Fantastic Caverns. And then eventually they left there and actually built the first theater in Branson. Now, the Bald Knobbers were here first, but they didn't have a theater. They would perform in the skating rinks and in the basement of City Hall and places like that. Yeah. But Presley's actually built the first theater here, but before that, like I said, they were in Fantastic Caverns.
And I bet you that's a phenomenon. I bet nobody else has ever had a cavern that had live entertainment inside the cave.
I don't know.
I mean, I've never really heard of it. I'll
Actually-
probably start hearing from cave people all over America.
Well,
but
there is a cave in Kimberling City, and I think the Presleys performed there during the week and performed in Fantastic Caverns, I think.
maybe it's an Ozarks thing.
It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. Now, you started your radio career back in New York, is that correct?
In a little town called Canandaigua, New York, which is just south of Rochester. Then I worked in Rochester. Then I went to Philadelphia, and a few years later, I was here in the Ozarks, and I've been here for 36 years.
You must have liked it.
I hope I like it here. I've been here long enough.
And you've had a chance to interview everyone. I mean, from the biggest names that have come through this town.
Yeah, I've I don't know everyone. I heard Roger Miller somewhere the other day, and I mentioned to my wife or somebody. I said, there's somebody I never met, never interviewed. But I've interviewed briefly Garth Brooks, Kenny Rogers, of course, when he was here in Branson, and Vince Gill and Brooks and Dunn, and a lot of people like that. I even interviewed Jim Barber at one time.
Really?
And
several
Dave
times.
Hamner.
You've been very good to include us on your interviews.
That's right.
And you've had live shows with bands.
Yeah, one of the funnest things I ever did was a Grand Country Music Hall, and it's still being done. I kind of help produce it and do the voiceovers for Branson Country USA on Friday nights at 11 o'clock.
Right.
Where people can come and sit in the audience and watch a radio show being produced.
It's a lot of fun, too, especially between the commercial breaks, whatever.
Oh, that's when the
happens
fun
on stage.
happens, yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
But
Well,
you were there with that dog.
I was there with Chico, my dog Chico. And, ventriloquists on the radio, well, it goes all the way
loses a
back
little
to, it
something.
goes back to the days of Edgar Bergen, though, of course, because
Well,
he
yeah.
was one of the most famous ventriloquists of all time, but worked on the radio.
Do you think he really brought Charlie McCarthy with him when he did those radio shows?
Well, yes, I know he did. I know
he?
he did, yes, but I think his lips moved a lot. Because technically, Edgar was very good earlier in his career, but as he got into the radio years, his lip control did get a little sloppy, but it didn't matter. He had the best writers in Hollywood, and all the women loved Charlie, of course. And
I used to listen to him. And Candace Bergen is his daughter, right?
yes, she is.
So her brother's a dummy.
That's right. That's right.
That's what people tell my brother. But
Yeah. How many in your family?
just which side?
Okay.
I have one sibling.
Sounds like the Ozarks again,
Yeah.
folks.
I have one wife, 3 children, and 5 grandchildren.
Okay.
And 2 parents, by the way, who just celebrated their 70th anniversary.
Well, that's fantastic.
And still live
70 years. Wow.
70 years and live in the same house I grew up in.
And where is that at?
That's in New York State,
in New York. Very good.
not far from Eastman Kodak and Xerox.
Wow.
Yeah. Up there near Rochester.
Very near Rochester, yeah. Yeah, about 3 miles from Rochester.
Okay.
How far is that up there from Buffalo?
About 90 miles.
So you can honestly say that when we eat chicken wings out here in the Ozarks, you're the one that brought the buffalo chicken wing to the Ozarks.
I never even knew about buffalo chicken wings when I lived up there. I don't think they had them yet. And when I heard buffalo wings, I thought, buffaloes?
Yeah, they don't fly.
They don't fly, no.
Well, the Buffalo Wings, I know a little bit about this. Goes back to the Anchor Bar in Rochester.
Rochester or
No,
Buffalo?
it's in Buffalo.
Buffalo,
The Anchor Bar in Buffalo. And I've been there, and they have different degrees of hot wings there. And I've had the nuclear wings.
The nuclear one.
And I tell you, my hair was sweating. I mean, every pore in
Is
your
that why
body.
you have that hole in the top of your head?
That's
It looks
it.
like something.
That's my steam relief valve
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
But that's where they come from, and it's little trivia for you folks here who might come visit the Ozarks.
And I lived in Philadelphia for 4 years, and while I was there, I don't think I ever had a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, well, they're good up there. I've lived in Philadelphia
I
too.
know
I
that,
lived there
yeah.
for 15 years. What station did you work at there?
Well, it no longer exists. It was WRCP.
And you put them out of business, huh?
I like to think that my leaving put them out of business, but I may have contributed to putting them out of business too. But they were right on Rittenhouse Square. We used to call it the Rittenhouse Ranch.
Yeah, okay. It's amazing. People in radio usually it's very common to transition and change stations and move around the country a lot.
I didn't do much of that. I've been in the Ozarks for my main job here. I was there 28 years.
Yeah,
And found out that people in my job, which I was the program director, at one point, I don't remember where I read it, so it may not be true, but that the average tenure for the average program director is 6 months. And I was there 28 years, so I think I'm a survivor.
wow,
sure.
that's fantastic. Well, that says a lot about you and
I was lucky.
or that you don't know any different.
Right.
No, that's great, and I'm so glad that you're here at KRZK and the Hamner Barber Variety Show. We run our commercials on KRZK this year, and we're thrilled to be helping sponsor what's going on over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm always thrilled to be involved with you guys because you're a class act.
Well, you're one of my favorite people of all time, not only in Branson but on radio as well.
Would you write that down somewhere?
Well, I just said it.
All right.
I just spread it right there. But we thank you for being on the show with us, and we're going to be on your show too.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
We're going to kind of cross interview each
Let
other.
me crank up the transmitter and we'll get that done.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you, Don Paul.
Listen to
KRZK.
him on KRZK.
You've been listening to BransonWebcast.com with your hosts Dave Hamner and Jim Barber. Join us next time for more interviews, music, and fun from Branson, Missouri.
Y'all come back and hear us soon. Hope you liked our little tune. Next time on the internet, we'll have new friends you haven't met. Branson Webcast Show, spread the word to all you know. On the web and having fun, it's the show for everyone.
This is your announcer, Craig Burnett, saying thanks for joining us and come back real soon for more fun at BransonWebcast.com.